Ignition.
All right, this evening we have Shawn Pryor back on the show. He needs no introduction. He's been here before a couple times, so it's always great when he has the time to come in on and talk about what he's been doing. And he's running a Kickstarter for Ignition, which I believe we talked about the first two issues with him on for issue 1 and issue 2. So now he's completing the series, and so let's bring him in, find out about what he's been up to, and find about what's going to happen in the series. How's it going?
Doing good, Chad. How you doing today?
Oh, hanging in there. So what have you been up to? I mean, what was your last Kickstarter, the Ignition #2? Or
yes,
am I thinking of something? Oh, it was? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was like Ignition #2, and also I did one for The Fire Within, which was a storybook about domestic violence. And after finally finishing all the fulfillment on both of those Kickstarters, I said, okay, well, in the midst of doing everything else that I do, like with writing, with my writing career and a 9-to-5, in my mind, I was like, well, I got 5 minutes on a Tuesday, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do a Kickstarter for the third and final issue of Ignition, which we've made a double-sized issue. It's going to be 56 pages. And so right now I'm in the process of trying to raise $8,000 for this 56-page comic by me, along with Jemele Reid, Kelly Guillory, and Christina Pogue. So as always, I'm on that hustle.
Well, it's always fun to talk to you, even when you're not on the hustle. But so before we get talking about issue #3, kind of, I'll include the links to our previous interviews about the the first couple issues. But go ahead and remind us, what it's about, and kind of who are the characters and where they find themselves at this time.
Yeah, sure. Ignition is about a disgraced race car driver by the name of Jemele Reid, who at the highest point of her professional racing career is kicked out and banned from professional racing. And so in order to make ends meet, she works for like a small racing school for kids, but the real meat of her money that she's able to make is by doing unlicensed transporter jobs. And so but she's also dealing with other issues like lack of money, the fact that also that she's fighting for the custody of her son, and things of that nature. And so what ends up happening is that she ends up taking a transporter job from someone by the name of Spencer Avery, where Spencer and his special cargo that he has needs to be transported from Dayton, Ohio to Las Vegas in a little over 24 hours. So let's say about around 28 hours or so. And Spencer puts a big amount of money in front of Jemele's face and says, this way, this deposit will help. And I know that you have all these other troubles right now, including, trying to fight for custody of your son and all these other things. If you can get me to Las Vegas, and if you can help my client, Mr. Wolf, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of everything. And so it's one of those, this is a can't miss opportunity. I got to take this money. I need the money to pay for my lawyer. And this would also help for other issues. So let me go ahead and take this job. Well, this job isn't all that it seems. And on the journey from Dayton, Ohio to Las Vegas, Jemele and Spencer run into someone that is trying to stop them. And that someone isn't your average typical human being. And basically all hell is broken loose in the midst of this journey, not to mention they're being chased by cops and everybody else. So in the third issue, we find out who is actually chasing Jemele and Spencer. We also find out where Spencer and his client, Mr. Wolf, actually come from. And, but then also at the same time, will Jemele and Spencer actually make it to Las Vegas? Will Jemele be able to get custody of her son back? There's so many underlying questions that are going to be resolved in this final issue. And so we just felt that, like I said, between myself, Jenna, Kelly, and Christina, we just felt that it would be better just to give everybody, a big final issue so they could just get it all. And instead of having to wait like another 3 or 4 months after this Kickstarter is fulfilled to get the fourth issue, we're like, oh no, we're just going to do it all at once. And so that's where things with Ignition are sitting right now. And if anybody wants to get in on this Kickstarter, you can go to theignitioncomic.com. It'll take you straight to the Kickstarter page, or you can go to Kickstarter, type Ignition in the search header, and you'll see it.
Comes right up. When I was looking for it earlier today, it came right up.
Nice.
And so again, we covered this, but what was the inspiration for the story? Oh
yeah.
I see that, I think we talked about some of the Easter eggs that were in there, last time, like in issue 2.
Like I'm a big fan of like the whole Fast and Furious franchise. And I think we had talked about that before, and how like that franchise as a whole went from a movie where you have the very first film where you have Paul Walker, who's supposed to be like an undercover like government agent, trying to stop like Vin Diesel, aka Dominic Toretto, and all of them from jacking big rig trucks for their VCRs and like old school electronic equipment, to now it's like this like full-fledged adventure series meets G.I. Joe. Just absolutely what Fast and Furious started out as and what it's become, 2 different things, but I'm all for it. I think it's great, and I think it's fun, and I like it when movies just go completely off the rails. The moment we got to Fast 5, when Fast 5 came out all those years ago, and they were like, you know what? This is now officially Black Avengers with cars. Let's go. I said, okay, this is where we're going. I love it. I'm here for it. Let's continue this trend. And like in every single film, it's just like, hey, let's just go up another level, and let's go up another one, and let's go up another one. To the point to where they almost went to outer space in F9. So I'm all for that. I'm all for it. And like, I enjoy films like that. I enjoy movies like that also, but I'm a big fan of The Transporter. The first 2 movies I completely love. And they both have their fair share of ridiculousness. But Jason Statham's great in them. The third one's okay. Like I like, the third one's okay, but I like the first 2 because the first 2 know that they know exactly what they're doing, and they know what kind of movie this is or what kind of movies they are, and so you just accept it. I had mentioned like there was this one podcast I was on, I think it was Geeks Unleashed, talking about Transporter 2, where there's a scene where Jason Statham's car has a bomb underneath it, and he knows it, but he's near a construction site. So he takes his car, drives full speed, and like he hits a ramp, like this dirt ramp, and the car is now up in the air, and he somehow finds a way to flip the car upside down. And there's a crane. There is a crane. He flips the car upside down, and the hook on the crane grabs the bomb, and he's able to then flip the car back over and land the car. You just accept it. You just accept it. You just accept it. And I'm
you haven't done that?
Oh, God, no. No, I'm not trying that in a 2006 Toyota Corolla. Never. But no, I love that. I love that kind of stuff in movies.
Yeah.
And but I also like the intimacy in personal moments of a movie like Drive as well. Like Nicholas Refn films don't always appeal to me, but like there's something about like the quiet moments of Drive that I really, in the aesthetics of Drive, that like I really dig. And so like I wanted to take like those three movies with like a touch of Days of Thunder and like blend them together with like a touch of science fiction and just say, you know what, let's, you know, I think this is fantastic in comic book form, so let's make this miniseries.
So what are you offering, you know, for this third round for the book?
Oh man. Like, okay. So like, it's, you know, like I said, it's a 56-page book. So you're getting 2 issues worth of story. But the cool thing is that, as always, I like variant covers. And this also gives me the ability to bring on artists that like I've always wanted to collaborate with, and also bring in up and coming artists as well to do additional covers for the mini series. So say, for instance, you know, you'll have the main cover for issue 3 by Kelly Guillory, but you will also have variant covers by, and the variant covers can be anything. You also have variant covers from artists like Jamie Naguchi, and Jamie Naguchi is a big Super Sentai fan, Tokusatsu fan like myself, and so he wanted to do like a Super Sentai style cover. I said, go for it. You know, you have artists by the name of Chris Jones, and I asked Chris Jones to do his take on Speed Racer. He was like, oh, most definitely. He was like, I love Speed Racer, aka Mach Go Go Go. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then like with Ebony Metal, I said, Ebony, I was like, can you give me a Go-Go 13 tribute cover? Because like one of my favorite.
That's what I was looking at. That's what I was trying to. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, because the creator of Go-Go 13 passed away this year, and I can't remember his name offhand at the moment, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I'm a big fan of Go-Go 13, and so I had asked Ebony Metal, I was like, will you do a tribute cover? And she was like, yes, and I was like, cool. And Martheus Wade, he did a cover as well, which is kind of like a racing style cover. Ray Anthony Height, who's done work for Marvel, DC, you name it. Like, he did a cover. And then, but we also have we have a third printing of issue 1, because like for those who didn't have the opportunity to get issue 1 or issue 2, well, here's your chance. You can get those. And so like issue 1, we have a third printing featuring a cover from Melissa Capriglione. And then we have an issue 2 second printing cover by Alex Reese. And so I just like giving artists opportunities, the opportunities. And I was like, well, variant covers is a perfect way to do that. But we also have like, we have like, specific like bundle packages. We also have digital versions of the book as well. Once again, so you could get like the third issue of Ignition digitally. And if you didn't get the first 2, you can still get those digitally as an add-on. Or you can get them as a bundle. Let me correct myself there. But we also have T-shirts as well. We have T-shirt bundles where we have the Kelly Guillory T-shirt bundle, which has like Kelly Guillory's T-shirt. The Kelly Guillory cover, the main cover, with a T-shirt with that cover artwork, as well as T-shirts by Alex Reese, as well and also a T-shirt by Jamie Naguchi. And then we also have the standard Ignition logo tee as well. Like a lot of the rewards are like based with all these covers, because like we have a total of 8 covers altogether. I was like, wow, that's a lot of variant covers. It's a lot of covers. But once again, like I said, I just wanted to give artists opportunities, and so I was like, this is the best way to do it. Also, like with a lot of the reward packages, a lot of them will come with like a mini poster, and more than likely, I also want to say like a magnet, if I'm not mistaken. But we also have like stretch goals. Like once we hit $4,000, every physical backer who gets like actual print edition of Ignition will get a free bookmark. When we hit our goal of $8,000, each physical backer will get a copy of, we'll actually get like a trading card sheet. So it'll be like, 9 trading cards, but it'll be just be an entire sheet. It'll be an uncut sheet. So, we're also doing that. If we reach $10,000, there will be a digital version of the art of Ignition. And what that will be like basically a digital version of just the penciled and inked artwork for the entire miniseries, plus conceptual artwork. And if we hit, I want to say $12,000, I believe. If we hit 11, or if I want to say it's 12,000. If we hit $12,000, all the physical backers will get a printed copy of the art of Ignition. So, so that's what we're trying to do. And, it's a hustle. It's a grind. And, but like for me in these Kickstarters, it's always a marathon. It's never a sprint. And I just have to maintain patience, and I just got to keep pushing until we get that finish line.
Now, do you feel like you've with this Kickstarter? Do you feel like you're on track, or what's your overall feeling?
I'm feeling good. Like I always would like to be near the goal sooner than later. But like I said, like I gotta pace myself. Like, so say for instance, as of this conversation, this conversation is taking place on a Wednesday night. My goal is that by Saturday, we're at like over $4,000. That's the goal. So like that's the initial goal. So that put us at 50% funded with a little over 2 weeks to go. And so then I can take those last 2 weeks, hustle my butt off, and then reach, hopefully reach the goal of 8,000 plus some. So I'm feeling, I feel confident about it. But I have to get out here and like, talk to the people, whether it be via Twitter, via Facebook, via Instagram, via private message, or hitting the streets, talking with friends, talking with the family, to constantly spread the word of Ignition, because also it's the holiday. But just because it's the holiday, it doesn't mean that people aren't using Kickstarter, because like there's lots of Kickstarters out here right now, even though it's the holiday. And so fighting for people's attention is tough, but I really want this, and and I don't want to let our creative team down, you know what I mean? And so I got to make it happen.
Well, I know that if anybody can make it happen, then you are the guy that can do it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So I've I've, since we're friends on Facebook, I see that you've been doing a few shows. How's that been? Given because since we last talked, we've pretty much we've come a long way in where the world is right now.
Yeah, like let's not get it twisted. COVID is still here, but at the same time, I had some hesitancy doing shows, but I said, what? I said, I'm vaccinated. I recently just got that booster shot, and I was like, what? Let's get back out here, and we'll just do a couple of shows. It's not like I'm doing like like 5, 15, 20 shows. I said, no, let's just keep it small. And so I did 2 shows. I did Lexington Comic and Toy Con, and like they had a mask policy, and so I was like, yeah, well, that sounds cool. So like wore my mask the whole time, and felt comfortable, and that show went really well. Like Lexington Comic and Toy Con in Kentucky has always been a very good show to me. It's one of my favorite shows, and so like I had a good time with that. But I also did the Kentucky Book Festival, which was also in Lexington, Kentucky, and it took place at Joseph Deaf Bookseller. It was this really big bookstore. It's a beautiful place, and And to be a part of that was really cool. It's not as stressful as like a Comic-Con per se, because you're just a guest of the show. They've provided the books for you. All you have to do is that if somebody wants a book, they'll just say, "Hey, can you sign this for me?" And you grab your Sharpie, you sign it, and they just go pay for it. You get snacks. You get snacks and you get taken care of, and like and it's super cool, and you get to meet like all these other authors, and like I was also I was featured on a panel as a conversation with Shawn Pryor about a graphic novel that I worked on. About Nat Turner's Rebellion that I did for Capstone. And I was interviewed by a professor who's also written about Nat Turner and like the Black women in Southampton, Virginia, who helped with the rebellion. And so so we had a very cool conversation in front of people, and it was great. And and it was a blast. And so like doing those 2 shows this year was a lot of fun. And the thing is that I'm at this phase in like my writing career now to where it's like I do like conventions, but the days of me doing 10, 15 shows in a year, that's over with. I'm not doing that anymore. Like I write so much now that I don't have time to be on the road all the time. And I also have a 9-to-5 job. And, and there's also like other personal things that like I have to take care of too. Excuse me. This is what happens when you drink too much Canada Dry too fast. But the time that I have now is very valuable. And so I can't do all the conventions that I used to do. So now, next year I'll do oh, there you go. It finally caught up with you. Good. But I'll be doing less shows now. And but I still, like I said, I still like conventions, but I'll just be doing less shows because I have a lot of writing to do. Like and I enjoy writing, and I've written more in the last 3 years than I did like the previous 11. So it's a good thing.
Well, I want to because I got a message about from Thatcher Cleveland, who was doing a Kickstarter that you mentioned, and he knew you, and that you mentioned my what I do to him. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thatcher's a good dude. I saw Thatcher at Lexington Comic and Toy Con, and we talked for a few minutes, and then he reminded me about his Kickstarter at the time. I want to say it was like Grim Reaper. And so I went ahead and I looked at the project, and I was like, okay, I see you. So I was like, I'll give you that little, I'll back you. I got you. Bloop. And I hit the little back button, and and I backed this project. Yeah. I've known Thatcher for years. I've known Thatcher for a very long time. He's a good dude.
Yeah, well, it was a fun chat, and luckily we were able to work it in there at the end of his campaign, and I just thanks for connecting us. That was great.
No, you're welcome.
Feel free to do more of that if you'd like.
No problem. I'll do what I can for you. I'll do what I can.
So, do you have any, once this project wraps up, are you, you're probably working on something, but, do you have any other projects in the works or, anything like that?
Yeah, a few things actually. Like, as a matter of fact, I am I got my very first book deal this year. And so it's a graphic novel called Fast Break that I'm working on with artist Courtney Hawn. And I have to turn in second revisions for that manuscript later this month. And so then that gives Courtney like a full year plus to work on the graphic novel and get ready for that. But like that's coming out through FSG Macmillan in 2023. But besides that, I'm also working on pitches to give to my literary agent, to give to book publishers, and also talking with a couple of comic book publishers as well. They'll be pitching to them later this month, early next year. There's a bunch of books that I've written for Capstone that'll be coming out next year, including a high-low reader series called The Gamer that I've written with artist Francesca Ficarilli. And and it's just like it's a superhero series book that I did with Capstone. There's 4 books. And I'm also working on a second series of those books right now. I'll have a couple of Jake Maddox graphic novels from Capstone coming out next year. And I think like a couple other prose novellas for Capstone that'll be out next year as well. And then I'll probably still be doing like 2 or 3 Kickstarters and on top of other projects. So you know me, I just I always feel I always have 5 minutes on a Tuesday.
You're just a little busy.
Too busy. Just, they're too busy, but it's what I do. Like I haven't felt like this creative in a very long time, and so like having this creative energy has been a blessing, and I'm trying to use it to the fullest.
Definitely. And I'm sure that you're going to turn out some great stuff that we hopefully we'll be able to talk about in the future.
Oh, I hope so too. I hope so too. Yeah, it's like I said, this has been like this year, like even though like the pandemic has been hell, and but like I've really been able to like write so much, and it's really instilled a lot of confidence in me, and I like at the same time I wish it was confidence that I had I wish I had that confidence a decade ago that I have now, but like I really just feel very good about where my career is heading now, and so I'm going to take advantage of it.
So was there anything else about the Kickstarter that maybe we didn't cover? I mean, we've heard a lot about the book tonight, and in our previous discussions, and it's a really good book, and people should definitely check it out.
Oh yeah, like if you like action, if you like drama, if you like fast cars, if you like witty dialogue, if you like mystery and intrigue, I really feel that Ignition is right up your alley. I love this miniseries, and to be able to collaborate with Kelly and Jenna and Christina has been fantastic. They're wonderful folks. They're fantastic. They're fantastic creatives. Kelly is an amazing artist. To be able to work together with Jenna on writing this story has been fun. Christina's come in to help Kelly with the coloring, for the finale, and Christina's great. And like I just, like I said, this is a team effort. And the Kickstarter's on my back because that's I carry that. That's fine. Like, 'cause that's what I do. But like I just want this to be successful, not just for me, but for them too, because they've put a lot of their time.
Yeah,
they put a lot of their time into this project too. So I want this to be successful, not just for me, but for them.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So as we wrap up, you want to give one last pitch and where people can find you and your other stuff that you do?
Oh yeah, sure. If you want to back Ignition, you can go to theignitioncomic.com. That'll take you to the Kickstarter, or you can go to kickstarter.com, type Ignition in the search header, and you'll find the Ignition miniseries there. That way you can get the double-sized finale. And if you did not get the opportunity to get the first 2 issues, they are available in this Kickstarter as well. Theignitioncomic.com or kickstarter.com, and type Ignition in the search header. You can also find me on Twitter. Sometimes I'm there too much, but you can find me there at twitter.com/Shawn R Pryor, SHAWN RPRYOR. Instagram, you can find me on the Shawn P Show. Those are the best 2 places to find me online. My website is my personal website is ShawnPryor.com. And yeah, that's, and if you want to find, like I said, if you also want to find out what other books I've written, go to ShawnPryor.com. That will show you everything that I've written or collaborated on. And so you go there as well. But please back Ignition. Like I said, as of this recording, we're at $3,087. We got the time left, and I'm going to get out here and hustle and continue to tell the world about it. And so I hope you check it out, play the video. You can read more about the series on the Kickstarter page, and support it and back it.
Well, always a pleasure to talk to you. Always a good time, and maybe we'll get to. I think the last time we actually met up was 2019 at New York Comic Con, wasn't it? You were doing a panel.
2015. Because I wasn't there in 2019. I wish I was there in 2019.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, maybe I don't know.
Or it may have been somewhere. It may have been somewhere else though. But I wish I was in New York in 2019 though. But but man, yeah, it has been a while. We need to get you up here for a Lexington Comic and Toy Con next year. It's like I said, it's a beautiful show. It's a fantastic show, and it's big, and they're probably going to probably over the span of 4 days have 40,000, 50,000 people show up. So it's a really good show. So we got to get y'all down here, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be great. Once because that's kind of in my neck of the woods anyway, since I'm originally from Virginia. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But so yeah. Well, it was great catching up with you, and best of luck on the Kickstarter. You'll do it. I know you will. You will make the magic happen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the guy. Like I said, I hope to get us to that finish line one way or another. But no, Chad, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for allowing me to be on your show and talk about Ignition. I appreciate it.
Well, you're always welcome, and it's always fun catching up with you and reliving the the CGS days of yore. And
yes. Yeah, I still have my I still have my Comic Geek Speak award. It's where is it? I may have moved it, but it used to be over there. But I think I may have moved it. But yeah, I still have it somewhere in this room. So yeah, nice. I still have it. So yeah, man, that was the Comic Geek. Comic Geek Speak is to blame for a majority of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Because the thing about the whole thing about Comic Geek Speak was that forum board, and the forum boards, before social media became a really big thing, those forum boards meant a lot to a lot of people. That's where I met you and a lot of the friends that I have now over the years. We all met through the comic forums via Comic Geek Speak, and it was it was great. Built a lot of fantastic friendships, and also learned a lot about the comics game through that forum board. And so so it's something to really be thankful for.
Created a small company through that.
Yeah. That was a hell of a ride. That was one hell of a ride. So yeah, but no, it's been good. It's been good. But this new journey I'm on, in all sincerity, is the best thing that's ever happened. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I'm not looking back, and I'm happy.
No. Alrighty. Well, we'll next time you have anything that you want to talk, we'll have you back on. We'll catch you again, and hopefully meet in person sooner rather than later.
Oh, most definitely, Chad. Hey, thanks again for having me on. I appreciate you.
And you stay healthy and stay safe.
You too. You take care now.
Alrighty.
All right.
Later.
Bye. Later.